Hello, everybody. Morgan Hurst here. I decided I should do a video all about hypertension. I am a childbirth educator, a postpartum doula, and a mom to four, and I have plenty of experience with hypertension. Just as a little medical disclaimer here before I get into all of the information, none of what I'm telling you is to be taken as medical advice. I am not a medical provider. All I am doing is presenting you with some information, and it is your job to research for yourself as well as ask your midwife, OB, provider, whoever you're seeking care from, about, making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, etc. All right, let's get into it. I am sitting in my backyard and I'm going to try to get as much information out as I can before my neighbor gets pretty close with his mower. All right, so I want to preface this by saying I have had hypertension in all four of my pregnancies. I have been induced every single time because of hypertension. I had two hospital births, and my next two were with a midwife. And I was able to do, as opposed to like a Pitocin induction in the hospital, I was able to do a castor oil induction. Now, when I was in the hospital with my first two, I was never given any direction as to how to help my hypertension, how to prevent it. There was no guidance whatsoever. When I started to go to my midwife that is outside the hospital system, I began to learn that there are actually things that I can do to help and support my body to prevent hypertension. So, this is a subject that I wish I would have started to research a long time ago. I maybe could have saved myself from the regret of having inductions as opposed to being able to go into labor naturally. But nonetheless, all in God's sovereignty, and here we are. Maybe for my next birth, Lord willingly, I will be able to prevent hypertension. And it looks like I'll be holding my mic up nice and close today because I think I've vacuumed up the clip. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's start talking about blood pressure. What is your blood pressure? This is the measurement that we use to look at how hard the blood is pushing on your vessel walls. And we look at two numbers. There's a top number and a bottom number. The top number is the systolic number. The bottom number is the diastolic number. The top one, we are looking at how hard the blood is pushing on your arteries when your heart is beating. And then the bottom number is how hard the blood is pushing on your vessels, on your arteries in between the beats. Now, the average, like a good, healthy blood pressure per se, would be about 120 over 80. And we get hypertension, or I should say, a hypertensive number is usually about 130 over 80 plus. So once you're getting into the like 130s over 80, 140s over 90, those are some concerning numbers. And hypertension is just, it's high blood pressure, higher than average, higher than what is normal blood pressure. Now, I have my notes right here, so please forgive me if I'm looking away quite a bit. But what is the concern? Like, why do we even care if your blood pressure is high? This was my question throughout my pregnancies because I was never explained why it's so important. Everybody acted like it was a big deal and told me, oh, there's risk involved. But what are the risks? That's what I'm here to tell you. So let's take a look at just mom. When it comes to labor and birth, we are worried about excessive bleeding and placental abruption, where the placenta tears away from the uterine wall before it's supposed to. There's a higher risk for seizures and strokes for mom, as well as preeclampsia and eclampsia. We are concerned about the damage that this high blood pressure is doing to your organs, as well as any potential risks that could come in the future. Any like cardiovascular diseases could be a lot more prevalent in your life. You are more at risk for developing heart and blood issues in the future. Having hypertension is stressful on mom's body, and that means that it's also stressful on the baby's body. So let's talk about what your baby might experience with hypertension. Now, with hypertension, we are concerned about the blood vessels tightening. They're constricting, and I wish I wasn't having to hold my phone and my mic here so I could kind of use my hands and show you what I'm talking about. But when our blood vessels constrict, we have less nutrients and less blood flow going to where we need. So the placenta is receiving less blood and less nutrients, which therefore means that baby is receiving less nutrients. And this can result in things like IUGR, which is intrauterine growth restriction, meaning your baby is not growing as fast or as big as what he or she is supposed to. There's a concern for baby having low birth weight and just overall having just like more health risks, health concerns, because they're not getting what they're supposed to. Next, I want to get into some of the potential causes of hypertension, and then we'll kind of finish off with like, is this even preventable? Is it treatable? I'd like to get you some more information that you might not receive in a hospital setting or from a knowledgeable midwife. Now, there are medications and other health conditions that will affect hypertension, and so this part might not be totally applicable to you. However, stick around because there are some things that I'm going to mention that may be helpful to you. However, right now we are actually going to talk about what I have come to understand as a big root cause of hypertension, which is lifestyle. Kind of hard to believe, and it's disappointing that a lot of our choices can contribute to harming our own health and harming our baby's health. However, it's also good news because all we have to do is make different choices and we can potentially have much healthier bodies and much healthier babies. Now, when our blood vessels constrict, we still have the same amount of blood that needs to be pushed through, and so the pressure is higher. A lot of these lifestyle issues that I'm going to talk about cause your blood vessels to constrict, and so what we want to do is relax them. So let me just go through a little list here. Things like smoking, experiencing a lot of fear, drinking an excessive amount of coffee. Caffeine constricts your blood vessels. And a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance causes the blood vessels to constrict. And so I know this is not, medical advice. For my own story, treating insulin resistance helped my hypertension to lower. P.S. Let me know if you'd like me to do a video talking about insulin resistance. So, is this preventable? Is this something that we can manage? And if so, how? I am going to just share some resources here. Some of them I have tried and some of them I have not tried, but nonetheless, I just wanted to pass them along to you. Again, this is not medical advice. This is not me telling you to do these things. You have to research and make these decisions for yourselves. Talk to your, care provider before and while making these decisions. Also, I will have these linked in the description box below. First things first, the brewer's diet. I will have this linked if it is hard for you to find. The brewer's diet is an excellent diet no matter what stage of life you're in, whether you're pregnant or not. But the brewer's diet is very high protein, and high protein is wonderful for treating hypertension. Walking is another really excellent tool. An easy way to get in a lot of exercise is to walk 10 or 15 minutes after each and every meal. This lowers your insulin and your blood pressure. There is a liver protocol from Beautiful One Midwifery. At the time that I'm posting this video, I think it's about $10, and I am not sure. I think you can do this one during pregnancy. It will be like everything will be in their description box on their website, but I will link that for you. Epsom salt soaks. You can do this as just a foot soak, or you can do this in the tub, whole body. But filling up a basin or your tub with like warm water, you don't want it too hot. We don't want it to affect baby, so obviously make sure that your water is not too hot, but you can get a nice long warm soak. I actually noticed a big difference even when I was just putting my feet in a basin with uh, hot water and Epsom salt. I felt much, much calmer and way more peaceable, and my blood pressure lowered quite a bit after those. And there is a specific preeclampsia protocol from, I believe it's, oh my, is it the Bible Birth School? The Biblical Birth School? I think at the time of posting this, it is on sale for $97. I believe it's normally close to like $147, but I will have that linked as well. I think we'll close there talking about hypertension. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know if I should do a video on insulin resistance. I think in my next video, I am actually going to talk about um, being Mennonite for 8 years, and I would like to do that in a way that is honoring to the Lord and truthful and graceful. So feel free to pray for me before I make that video. We'll see you in the next one.